Meteorologist Christina Shalhoub, who joins us live in Rumford. Christina.
I'm so excited to be here at Wannamoisa Country Club for the 63rd Northeast Amateur Invitational. This tournament is so special, not just to the golf community, but to Rhode Island. It's here at Wannamoisa every single year, and it brings talent from all over the country. And just to let you know, this tournament has been a feather in the cap of so many incredibly successful tour players, people like Dustin Johnson, Colin Morikawa, all the way back to Ben Crenshaw. So it's a pretty special event, and we are so happy to have it here in the Ocean State. Now, the big question is, what will the weather look like? Obviously, today it's been a little lackluster. I think you guys know that. Let's jump out to satellite and radar and take a look right around Rumford, Rhode Island, where the course is located. And you can see, I mean, I'm sure you saw that just from looking at the camera, that it is a little bit gray and dreary outside. We've had drips and drops throughout the day, especially this morning, a couple rounds of showers. Now, we are in the clear for a little while longer, but I do expect more showers. As you zoom out, you can see that there are more waiting in the wings here. Let's jump to the Providence Skycam and we'll take a look outside elsewhere across the area, and you'll notice that, yeah, it's more of the same. Expect visibility to be low at times as we move through this evening. Taking a look at tonight, you will get that patchy fog around. That is a big part of the summary of tonight's forecast. Temperatures largely in the low to mid 60s, and once again, the clouds and the showers stay put. Now, as we dig into tomorrow, let's go out to Futurecast, and you'll see that over the next couple of hours, things are going to get, again, a little bit rainier at times, especially as we get into the early hours of tomorrow morning. So if you do have to get out the door, whether it's to get the kids to the bus stop, you're heading to work, or maybe you're coming out to be a spectator for the first round of the event, which kicks off with the first tee time at about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, you make sure you want the umbrella out there, especially if you are going to be outside for any length of time. A poncho, not a bad idea either. Now, temperature-wise, tomorrow is going to be, I would say, relatively benign. We're a little bit cooler toward the coast, temperatures in the upper 60s. As we move into the inland cities, we're looking more so in the mid and upper 70s, for example, putting Providence at give or take 77, 78 degrees tomorrow, with a better looking afternoon than morning. Now, again, in terms of the showers, most of them are contained to the first half of the day, but then the heat starts to build. We get a little peak of blue here and there, and those temperatures start to rise. But speaking of temperature, that is absolutely nothing compared to Thursday. You guys, Thursday is the day that we're watching for, because we get a dose and a half of Mother Nature's summertime heat. You ready for this? The summary of our Thursday, we end up with temperatures in the mid and upper 80s, and I do think a couple spots will get to the low 90s, especially as we look again to those inland cities. And it's not just that, but with the humidity, you could expect those feels like values to be in the low to mid 90s. And as you head back toward parts of, let's say, central Massachusetts and even central Connecticut, I wouldn't be surprised if they got to triple digits. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this before. Heat and humidity, what are they ingredients for? Thunderstorms. Yeah, you guessed it, right? And we do have a thunderstorm risk as we head to Thursday. The SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, has given us a marginal level 1 risk and a level 2 risk as we look further to the west throughout parts of interior New England. Now, that level 2 doesn't reach us at home, but the level 1 does. But I will say this. This is as a cold front comes back into the region. We'll jump out to the Futurecast and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here, that those thunderstorms, they do stay pretty hefty as they move through parts of, let's say, Vermont, even upstate New York, back to Western Mass, to the Berkshires, things are looking a little iffy. But once they get to us here at home, it's not nearly as robust. The energy just isn't quite there. So do I expect maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms to reach us? Yeah, they could. But this is going to be later at night. And thankfully, the heat will have died down at that point. There's not as much energy, not as much oomph. So perhaps a little bit of rain and maybe a rumble of thunder. We want to make sure we're staying weather aware. Now, as we move into the next couple of days, things get, I would say, a lot more comfortable after that cold front passes. Humidity lowers out. We actually get, dare I say, a little sunshine back. Wouldn't that be nice right about now? And as we head into the weekend, it looks like more of the same. So here's the summary as we look to each day of the tournament. Again, 4 rounds starting on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I would say Thursday is the toughest one, not because of the rain. It's going to fall very early in the morning and then again later in the evening once the players are off the course. But the issue is going to be the heat and humidity. It's going to be absolutely miserable to play, and I'm not going to lie. So things like hydrating and stuff like that, whether you're out there to play or to practice or just going out to spectate, you want to make sure you're staying prepared. 7-day forecast showing you that even afterwards, it just gets hotter once we get to next week. We're expecting a big ridge of high pressure to build that heat into next week, and you might even see temperatures well into the 90s. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But right now, you guys, I'll send it back to you in the studio. I'm going to be here enjoying myself on the golf course, rain or shine, a little while longer.